Okay, welcome back. We're going to do this one in class. And how is a mole similar to a dozen? Well, it's kind of a unit or an easily used quantity. Both mole and dozen are quantities made up of a specified number of particles, and they both refer to multiple objects or particles that are now being thought of as a single object or unit. How do you determine the molar mass of an element of a compound? So the atomic mass of an element is represented in grams, and it is the mass of a mole of that element. So if you look on the periodic table, for carbon you'll see it's listed as 12.01. You can use the periodic table on your desk. Hydrogen is 1.008, which is also the numbers I want you to use from the periodic table that I give you. And so here's a figure that shows you the various amounts would be 1 mole of each substance. Some are atoms, some are, well, they're all atoms here. And so each one of these would be a mole, and you would get that by measuring the mass of it. To find the mass of a mole of a compound, you must know the formula for the compound. So something like SO3, we have 1 molecule of SO3 has 1 atom of sulfur and 3 atoms of oxygen. To calculate its molar mass, we would take sulfur plus 3 times oxygen. And so that would be 16 times 3 plus 32.07, I believe. And that gives us the mass for sulfur trioxide. So the 1 mole of sulfur trioxide would have a mass of 80.1 grams, and it would have exactly 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of SO3. Chlorobenzene, is what we find in mothballs, and it has a mass of 147. And we have water molecules, and we have glucose, and each of these have a different volume, but they would have the same number of moles. The decomposition of hydrogen peroxide provides sufficient energy to launch a rocket. What is the molar mass of hydrogen peroxide? So we have 2 times the mass of hydrogen plus 2 times the mass of oxygen, which gives us 34.0 grams per mole. Knowing how to calculate the mass, count the mass, weigh the mass, and the volume of an atom or molecule are related, the mole allows chemists to count the number of representative particles in a substance. The atomic mass of an element in grams is the mass of the mole of that element. To calculate the molar mass of a compound, find the number of grams of each element in 1 mole of that compound, then add the masses of that element in the compound. We have some vocabulary words. The big idea here is the mole is an important measurement in chemistry. And there we have it. End of this section. Thanks for listening. See you back in class.